a harmony of the Gospels for students of the life of Christ by A.T. Robertson. 4:13. The presentation in the temple with the homage of Simeon and Anna. Jerusalem, Luke 2, verses 22 to 38. And when the days of their purification, according to the law of Moses, were fulfilled, they brought him up to Jerusalem to present him to the Lord, as it is written in the law of the Lord, every male that openeth the womb shall be called holy to the Lord. See Exodus 13:2, 12, and 15, Leviticus 12, verse 1 to 8, and to offer a sacrifice according to that which is said in the law of the Lord. Now, by Lord, they mean Yahweh, which doesn't translate as Lord, but you don't have Jesus overturning the sacrifice laws in what the Bible has of his teaching. A pair of turtle doves are 2 young pigeons, and behold, there was a man in Jerusalem, whose name was Simeon, and this man was righteous and devout, looking for the consolation of Israel. And the Holy Spirit was upon him, and it had been revealed unto him by the Holy Spirit that he should not see death before he had seen the Lord's Christ. And he came in the Spirit into the temple. So Lord and Christ would be different in that sense. So Yahweh, Mashiach, maybe. And when the parents brought in the child Jesus, that they might do concerning him after the custom of the law, then he received him into his arms and blessed God, and said, the 4 New Testament Psalms given by Luke breathe the atmosphere of Old Testament piety, quite in contrast to the formalism of the Pharisees, and yet thoroughly Jewish in background and Christian in sentiment. Well, you could pick out the prophetic from the Jewish tradition, but it's not exactly the same thing. But it is primitive Christian feeling. Section 7 gives the Magnificat of Mary in response to the song of Elizabeth in verse 6. In verse 8 we have the Benedictus of Zacharias, and in 13 the Nun Dimiti of Simeon. Now lettest thou thy servant, Greek bondservant, depart, O Lord, our Master, according to thy word, in peace, for mine eyes have seen thy salvation. See Isaiah 52:10, which thou hast prepared before the face of all the peoples, a light for revelation to the Gentiles. Now, Gentiles, Goyim, mean those who turn their back on God, because you're not changing somebody's race or whatever. You're turning them towards being polytheist and secular and that sort of stuff. So don't let somebody say, "Oh, my ancestry or my nation." No, that doesn't make you're not a Gentile. The fact you're pointing that so much probably indicates that you are. That's what you should say to them. And the glory of thy people Israel. See Isaiah 42:6 and 49:6. And his father and his mother were marveling at the things which were spoken concerning him. And Simeon blessed them and said unto Mary his mother, Behold, this child is set for the falling and rising up of many in Israel. Because those who are sent, whether they're messiahs or other types of prophets, the criterion is, okay, are they believed and obeyed? And it's not about their person, you could say, but and for a sign which is spoken against, yea, and a sword shall pierce through thine own soul, that thoughts out of many hearts may be revealed. And there was one Anna, a prophetess, the daughter of Phanuel of the tribe of Asher. She was of a great age, Greek, advanced in many days, having lived with a husband 7 years from her virginity, and she had been a widow even for 84 years, which departed not from the temple, worshipping with fastings and supplications night and day, and coming up at that very hour, she gave thanks unto God, and spake of him to all them that were looking for the redemption of Jerusalem. And one of the end times things is the whole, because the wickedness in Jerusalem run for the hills, because, the side that's Gaza, the West Bank, Iran, Afghanistan, and Russia, gonna blow the hills open with fire, and the rule of the great oppressors is going to come to an end. But I've talked about that in my Torah and half Torah megalith programs.